What's going on with y'all on this Sunday morning, man? Hope y'all been enjoying this bye week. We got another week to go. Man, I mentally unplugged this week. I didn't watch anything Falcons related, fam. I needed this break. I needed it. Richard, appreciate that correction, man. I woke up not too long ago. My brain wasn't really working until you pointed that out. I appreciate that. Are you way? What's going on? He says it's Ritter time. It's Ritter time. Bubba Gum, what's going on? G says, what's up, Marcus? Back to Ritter, I see. Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with Taylor Heineke, and that injury. I know it was classified as low, but I don't know what's going on, honestly. But it's a hamstring issue. But I hadn't heard anything about it. But these days, man, when you look at injuries across the league, saw what happened at Thursday night. Joe Burrow went in there, and the Bengals probably knew. They probably knew he had ligament issues with that hand, and they still allowed that boy to go in there. And I could tell when he threw that ball, he was gone. One, the way he released it, and then the way his hand just blew up like a balloon. I'm like, yeah, that boy gone for the season. That boy gone. What's going on, RG? How you doing? RG says, what's up, my brother? Please tell me Smith is getting fired. Well, they ain't gonna fire him. Even though he deserved to be fired after that last game, I kind of figured, man, this was the way that they were gonna go. Now the 2024 shit that they put out there, man, I'm almost for sure if this man don't make the playoffs, he's gone. And I'll get into reasons why that should happen if we don't make the playoffs. What's going on, Armani? As Negronomus, what's up? D says, what's up, Marcus? What do you think about Ritter starting after the bye? I'm gonna get to all that stuff in a second, fam. What's going on, Keonis? She says, I saw a ticker on ESPN last night that Ritter will be the starter for the rest of the season. What's going on, Monica? Yeah, so I like I said last week, man, he had to make a decision on who he was going to be rolling with for the rest of the season. He couldn't let this linger. If it was going to be Taylor Heineke, you have to announce it. If it's going to be Desmond Ritter, you have to announce it. But you cannot let this linger any longer. So, hey, man, this is going to be interesting. this is going to be interesting. Quintez says, what's going on, fam? This is going to be wild. Smith got to turn this around, and if not, on to the next coach in QB. Terry says, Ritter makes a mean couple show. Trick the golf. But let me go back to let me get Patrick first. Patrick says Jaden Daniels is the answer at QB. Okay. What's going on, JJ the Great? Let me go back to what Quintez says. Yeah. So no matter what happens this season, it's going to be interesting as hell because we have seen a coach basically put his job on the line. This is what we're basically seeing. So also, this is a coach putting the quarterback's job on the line. And what I mean by that is you go 7-9. I mean, that's just three wins, 3 more wins for the season. I think there's 6 games left. 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken. So you got to get 3 of those to hit what you made last year. That alone will get you fired. And the reason why I say that is because this is the third year of a 3-year plan. You have people talking about, man, we need to be patient and you have to build a foundation. And my question is, what the fuck they've been doing the last 2 years? We just been whistling Dixie playing football? If they haven't built anything in 2 years, then he definitely needs to be fired. But this was their plan. We didn't give them a time limit. They said 3 years. The fans didn't say, hey, we're going to give you 5 years. We're going to give you 2 years. No, y'all came out and said this is going to be a 3-year build. We're in year 3. 4 and 6. Y'all mandated this, not us. So you can't come back at the fans and say we have to be patient and shit like this takes time. Really? Really? Our last 2 coaches, it didn't take 3 years to do something. Mike Smith, we went to the playoffs immediately. Got embarrassed. But with a rookie quarterback nonetheless. And then kept going back. Dan Quinn comes in. First year, a little shaky. There was some drama between Kyle Shanahan and Roddy White. I don't know if y'all remember that. Y'all probably do. And then the next year, we were in the Super Bowl. Just don't take time if you're properly built. And you got the guys that know how to win. But now when it comes to Arthur Smith, both of those coaches, by the way, were coordinators. They weren't head coaches before they got this gig. They were coordinators. So that gives Arthur Smith absolutely no excuses. And again, they set the time. We didn't. So I hope, and I'm gonna do something I really, really don't do. I'm gonna get personal with the player. I hope Desmond Ridder has enough intel from the bench to do something with these next 7 games. Because if not, this is going to absolutely devastate this kid and his career. See, putting him on the bench and keeping him on the bench, okay, there's no pressure, none. And mind you, these other teams look too. So if this kid comes out here and wets the bed, fam, this is going to follow him his whole career. When Aaron Rodgers gets right and Zach Wilson gets back on the bench, fam, Zach Wilson is going to be a journeyman backup quarterback for the rest of his career. So this is a prime example of a sink or swim situation for the head coach and the quarterback. Sav says this shit really set us back 3 years when you look at it. Yeah. That's one way to look at it for sure. RUA says Ridder has to win the division if he wants any chance to be our guy next year and better show serious improvement and consistently doing it. And I'm going to be honest. The only way I actually see Ridder keeping his, and this is the situation the coach put him in. He didn't put himself in. Now, his play ain't helped him, but his coach bet on him. And now he's put him in a situation where, hey, look, kid, you either need to ball out for the remainder of the season or you're going to be a backup for the rest of your life. But I think the only way he keeps his job is if Arthur Smith keeps his job going into next year, which again, I hear what they said about coming back in 2024, but fam, we didn't heard this shit from other teams so many times. Man, as soon as Black Monday hit, they gone. Some of them don't even make it to Black Monday. So again, I'm rooting for the kid because, hey, he's attached to my team and I want to win. But with the history that we have from this season, man, this is going to be a hard fought 6 or 7 games. RJ says, hey, Mark, how does Terry escape the backlash? A lot of his draft picks have not hit. Looks at his track record, not good. Well, here's the thing. I think we can safely assume that a lot of those picks in the draft, especially the 4 and the 2 8s, weren't his picks. Those were Arthur Smith picks. Now, people might be like, I don't think that. Man, how y'all think I was able to predict all 3 picks? Are people talking about Carter? I'm like, don't be surprised if they get Bijan. Oh, you crazy, dog. Watch don't be surprised. Then when Bijan gets announced, everybody's surprised. I'm like, bro, they got a history of this now. But I think one of the reasons why Terry Fontenot is absolved from the majority of this shrapnel is, one, it gave Arthur Smith everything that he needs to succeed. If you look at this roster, damn, this team shouldn't be 4-6. Look at the teams we lost to. Those are inexcusable. That ain't on Terry Fontenot. We're at the 1, and you want to do a reverse with Jonnu Smith? That ain't on Terry Fontenot. Your quarterback putting the ball on the lettuce? That's not on him. He gave this coach everything to win and a soft ass schedule. So to me, Terry he's absolved from this year. And remember, we hired the head coach first. Had we hired Terry Fontenot first, and I mean, I know you couldn't, because of the situation with that season at the time and where New Orleans was. But this is what I mean by be fucking patient. This front office has no patience when it comes to hires. If you knew Terry Fontenot was your guy, you sit and wait till he becomes available. You don't jump the gun and hire a coach because you figure something, man, fuck that. But you look at the pieces we got. Look at our defensive coordinator. All that's Terry Fontenot. You know, we spoke glowingly about this defense up until about 3 weeks ago. That was Fontenot cooking. So again, I'm gonna give Terry Fontenot a whole nother regime before I start looking at him. What's going on, Christy? What's happening? RUA says, well, Terry, especially that first draft, started everything with the best player available, which we all knew was Kyle Pitts. Now, Terry's my guy. Built the roster to win and should stay regardless. Yeah, like, you know, the Kyle Pitts pick, with them picking him 4th, making him the highest selected tight end in NFL history. Pitts was coming off the board by 10 anyway. I think that, you know, some people forget that Pitts was coming off the board before 10 hit. So they figured, hey man, you know, this guy coming out of college. I mean, if we have an opportunity to get him, we get him. You look at what happened with Drake London. You know, when we got Drake London, everybody wet the bed. Then look at what happened subsequently right after we drafted Drake London. There was a run on wide receivers. And Bijan, I mean, again, so and I might be, listen, man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna be a bit biased. I'm more or less on the offensive side of the ball. Now, had we got Carter, I wouldn't have complained at all. Christy says, hey, y'all, also look at the amount of money Terry had to play with. Yeah, and look at the amount of money he got to play with next year. I mean, it's the way I look at it, it's a lot more that goes into that. When you look at the fact that our salary cap is going to be straight. When we drafted Kyle Pitts, we're not paying Kyle Pitts $120 million on his re-up. Bijan, we got like another, 4 years? Drake London got about 4 years. Drafted these guys top 10, so we got the fifth year option on them. So we have a window. So yeah, man, Terry Fontenot, he's absolved. Arthur Smith ain't. He ain't. RUA says, yeah, if we didn't pick him, Cincinnati, Miami, or Carolina was going to pick him. Yeah, Pitts was not going to get out of pick 10. Sav says, would you consider trading Pitts? I wouldn't. I think Pitts has just been misused, fam. And then you look at last year he was hurt. And then this year he was kind of coming back from recovery. You can tell the first couple of games, he wasn't 100%. Now it seems like he's getting into the swing of things. But nah, I wouldn't trade him. I would not trade him. We got draft picks, we got money. So, he's staying right here. If I'm Terry, I didn't draft a guy at 4 just to trade him, 3 years 3 years later, man. We ain't San Francisco. RJ says, I respectfully disagree. Kyle Pitts looks to be a bust. Drake London has not really shown anything. We should have focused on the trenches. Yeah, listen, if that's how you feel, man, I can't tell you you're wrong. There is a valid argument for, what we should have went for, offensive line, defensive line. I get that 100%. I get it 100%. So I can't really, argue your point. What I'm saying is, when you look at Kyle Pitts' career, his first year he wasn't a bust. His first year he was pretty decent. Went to the Pro Bowl, right? Second year he gets hurt. Then you look at the quarterback switch from Matt Ryan to Marcus Mariota. Then he's coming back and he's playing with essentially a rookie quarterback. Plus he's coming back from injury. So I'm not going to call him a bust yet. And Drake London, last year, he showed us something. This year, again, the quarterback play took a step back. But I'm not ready to call Kyle Pitts a bust. I just think he's in a situation where, your quarterback struggled. Travis says Pitts doesn't fit this offense. This offense doesn't need a vertical tight end. That's why Jonnu has more catches, yards, and TDs. A possession TE works better. Well, that last part is true. Jonnu has been getting busy. But I also think the way that Arthur Smith is playing Jonnu is strange too, because he could have ran that reverse. Well, he shouldn't have ran that reverse anyway. But he could have ran that with Kyle Pitts or Bijan or somebody else. It's weird how he's calling this offense, fam. But you figured, like last year, we had all this hype and we're not using it in the red zone at all, which is, again, astonishing. But, let's see. RUA says, I would trade him if I got an offer I couldn't resist, but I doubt we will get that. Yeah, probably not. Todd says, Sir Pitts is a bust. He hurt or just does not run plays out. You watch the game. Yeah, I watch the games. How? Okay. He says, I don't blame Coach Smith for the downfall. I blame the owner at, I don't know what that last word was supposed to be. I guess you can put some blame at the owner's front door, sure. They hired him too fast. So, but Arthur Smith is definitely holding most of this blame. Definitely. You know, our offense right now, let me go over here real quick and come on, Mouse, where are you at? Right now we are 15th in offense. So we're literally middle of the road. We're averaging 335 yards a game. But we have 18 touchdowns. The Commanders are right below us at 334 yards. They have 25 touchdowns. The Browns are below us. They have 20 touchdowns. And I mean, we're talking about from 15th to 18th. It's a 4-yard difference. It's a 4-yard difference. So it's not like we're sitting at 15th comfortable. I mean, the Commanders are just 1 yard less than us. But when you look at the touchdowns, they have 7 more touchdowns than we do. The Bears are sitting at 20. They have 23 touchdowns. Now, when I look at these teams, y'all show me the supposed threats on these teams offensively. So, again, man, we have problems on the offensive side of the ball. When it comes to watching games, yeah, I watch the games, and what I'm seeing on a consistent basis is there's a part of the game, whether it's the second quarter, whether it's the third quarter, whether it's the first quarter, whether it's the fourth. There is a part of the game where this defense is making stops, and the offense is either turning the ball over or they're giving the ball right back. There's a sequence in these games where the offense, for whatever reason, cannot get the ball down the field. And then the defense is back on the field. The defense puts up a stop. Offense goes back up there. Offense does absolutely nothing with the ball. Defense comes out, makes another stop. Offense rinse. It's in every game, fam. Every game. That sequence is in every single game. And then the defense finally yields points. They finally give it up. And then the offense all of a sudden wants to play. So, again, I just, it is what it is. But I'm wishing Ritter the best, man. I know there are some people out here that are like, for whatever reason, they have a hard on and they like to throw the fact that, Ritter's starting now. What y'all got to say? First of all, Ritter got benched. When I said Ritter needed to be on the bench, people thought I was crazy. Then when Ritter got on the bench, people wanted to act like, well, it was the best time for him to get on the bench. I'm like, bro, you weren't saying this 3 weeks ago. Now that Ritter is starting again, I don't know what the situation with Taylor Heineke is. I don't know if that hammy issue is a bigger issue and they're just saying that it's a low sprain, or Arthur's like, listen, if I'm going to get fired, I'm going to get fired on my terms. Could be that, could be both. But the whole, that's my quarterback. First of all, he's all our quarterbacks. I never understood that, even with Matt Ryan. Even with Matt Ryan, that's my quarterback. Like, bro, he's our quarterback. That's why I say there's a difference when people are a fan of one player and people are a fan of the logo. When people are a fan of one player, it's I told y'all so. That's my quarterback. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Meanwhile, it's a whole 50 plus other people on the team. Didn't do it by itself. So for me, this is low-key going to be exciting because this is the true definition of sink and swim, boom or bust. Now we're going to see if there's a diamond underneath the coal that we've seen from Desmond Ridder all year. For me, I just feel like the boy's been given a bad shake as far as the coach putting all this pressure on him not having a competition at that spot. So him essentially not earning that spot. Him not having a preseason. So now you're putting this boy in a position where he's got to shine. So let's talk about him being a winner in college. He's going to have to go back to that. He's going to have to go back to that, bro. Because if not, we know what he's about to become. RUA says they saw Heineke really out of curiosity, and they saw he wasn't better than Ridder. That second game didn't do Heineke any favors. First game, I thought he was decent, and gave the team a chance to win. You know, the team just got the ball back, and the defense wasn't able to get off the field. Same thing with Desmond Ridder last week. Came in, gave us an opportunity to win. Defense did the same exact thing. So, plus he went out. You know, Heineke went out with an injury. So who's to say? I honestly don't know what that situation might have been if Heineke didn't sprain his ACL or his damn. I got a brain fart. I'm calling it a damn ACL. No, it ain't an ACL. His sprain, on his hammy. And y'all know how important these hammies can be. Those hammies betrayed Julio Jones. When Julio left here, I should have trademarked this. Them hammies were falling off the bone when they left here. And he was playing in Tennessee. Just wasn't the same guy. Hammies were gone, fam. Sab says it's sad because you see the bones of a decent QB in him. I see a guy who knows how to run the ball, but doesn't. But I did see that when he came back in, I think he had two decent runs, and then he had the RPO to the end zone. I see a kid who can throw the ball. His accuracy is a little janky right now. But that's pretty much all I see right now. So we'll see. We will definitely see. I'm rooting for the kid because I want to go to the playoffs. I'm about logo business. Should have trademarked that shit too, but I'm about logo business. Been about that since I said this back in 2016, 2017. So when he comes and plays, if he has a good game, I don't want nobody. That's my quarterback. Shut up. Shut up. He's all our quarterbacks. Which leads me into the ballad of the Atlanta Falcons fan base. Now, it seems like since I've been gone, enjoying my bye, minding my business, I get back on, or I plug back into the Falcons atmosphere, and fans are going at each other. You're not a real fan, this. You're not a real fan, that. You don't know football. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like I've always said, and I will continue to say, right now, if you're a Falcon fan, there's no such thing as you being a fake Falcon fan. We ain't won shit. Tell me what we won. Tell me what the fuck we won. People ain't jumping on our bandwagon. The people that jumped in on 2016, they gone. Ain't no such thing as a fake Falcon fan, bruh. My parents will clown the Falcons every chance they get. That don't sway me. I came out of them. That don't sway me at all. Some fans have an issue with other fans literally calling this team out. Now, we used to call those fans cheerleaders, where the organization could do no wrong. Y'all complain about everything. But the irony is this. Y'all complain about the fans. Y'all doing the same thing, but y'all argument ain't even legitimate. Why are you complaining about the fans when we losing? Why are y'all complaining about the fans when the fans are calling for blood where there needs to be some? Because again, we were told this was going to be a 3-year plan. We're in year 3. Fans have a right to be impatient when you said it was going to be 3 years. I give you a case in point. Let's say you got somebody working on your house, right? You say, how long is this going to take? They say, man, this will take roughly about 2 months. Are you sitting there like, 2 months? But then you're looking at the renovation. You're like, okay. And then they're there for 7 months. Sooner or later, you're gonna be like, man, when y'all getting this finished? You already paid for it. You get to a point where you want them to fuck out of your house. You want this thing done. But then you realize the construction crew come whenever they want to. They don't bring the right material. They actually don't know what they're doing. And then they just decide to up and take vacation. So what you were told was 2 months. And then it actually took 7. And you're beholden to them because they done already tore shit down in your house. Now, some people that don't have that patience, they will fire that crew and then they'll hire another one. So again, fam, how long does it take to build a foundation? Can't take 3 years. Last 15 years, we've had 2 coaches. Didn't take them 3 years. So when people tell you this is a process, just look at our history. Last 15 years. It's a process when people don't know what the fuck they're doing. But I digress about that. So, You got fans. I saw this yesterday morning and cracked up laughing. So there is a petition um for Arthur Smith Arthur Smith to be fired. Some of these fans ain't giving a fuck. Some of them ain't caring, damn. Some of them like, hey, listen. We're so upset. We are so mad right now. And we want this guy gone. So they went to change.org. Right? Now, they only asked for 200 signatures. They only asked for that. They got 161 right now. Then there's a second one. I thought this was the only one. No, there's another one on here too. So there's two separate petitions to have Arthur Smith fired. Now, am I going to sign it? No. Reason why I'm not going to sign this is this thing will play out how it's going to play out. It's going to play out how it's going to play out. If we don't make the playoffs, he's going to get fired anyway. But this petition, even though it's not going to do anything, this just shows you how upset the fan base is. And they have every right to be. We were told in 3 years we was going to be on track, baby. And it's not that we're losing. It's the quality of the teams we're losing to. Backup to a backup. First time starter. Quarterback's first game after missing pretty much a year. And they were 1-8. Like, bruh. Sooner or later, you gotta do a double take at this. Like, man, hey, bro, this ain't what y'all promised us. I'm going on what they promised. So when fans call this team mediocre, that's what they are. That's what they are, fam. They mediocre right now. So somebody sent me a clip. I forget what podcast it was, bro. So y'all have to pardon me. And again, I didn't watch it until really this morning, and I got a kick out of the fact that somebody said, "Do y'all really know what mediocre means? Y'all calling this team mediocre? Do y'all really know what mediocre means? Or y'all just saying that?" And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm not the brightest crown in the coloring box, but yeah, the Falcons fit that exact definition. They're mediocre. Mediocre means moderate quality. You're not very good. The Falcons literally fit that to a T. They're a mediocre team right now. Got great pieces, but they're mediocre. So you have some fans, man, that literally they're gonna support mediocrity. And this is why we usually get into this situation when it comes to the fan base, where the fan base is split in two. And again, this happens in all fan bases, but the fan base gets split in two. One part of the fan base wants action done, and then the other part of the fan base is telling you it's a process. Y'all don't know football. It's a process. Have y'all ever coached? Have y'all ever played football? Do y'all want to be like this team? Do y'all want to be like that team? And then cats start going to the moon with it. I heard somebody say, what would y'all do if the Falcons sold the team. And I'm sitting here like, what? Okay, okay. And I be trying to hang with the logic, and then I'm like, they're in outer space right now, bro. And then you get the, well, if you don't like what you're seeing, don't watch. That's a double-edged sword. Because if you decide to do that, then you're not a real fan. That's what they'll tell you next. If you say, okay, I ain't gonna watch no more, they'll classify you as not a real fan because they did what you told them to do. Turn off the TV. Nobody's forcing you to watch the game. Nobody's forcing you to watch the game. If we're so mediocre, why support the product? And I'm like, bro, that is the very definition of what being a fan is. That's what you're telling people not to do, is the very definition of what a fan does. You look at the New York Jets. They know they ain't going nowhere. They've been a bum ass team for a while. Fan base still intact. Because that's what fans do. You can know your team is trash and still watch them. That's what a fan, bro. That's like telling Jack Nicholson, hey, don't pay $100,000 for these floor seats the years Kobe left. When Kobe retired, and even when Kobe was there, if we gonna keep it a buck, R.I.P. Mamba, but if we gonna keep it a buck, last couple of years of Kobe's career, that team was not good. But you know what? As a Lakers fan, hey, you're supposed to clock out because they putting out a mediocre product. Kobe out here running with these young boys, but they out there putting up a mediocre product. So by proxy, you shouldn't be watching. You don't have no rights to complain as a fan. You have no rights to complain. And you know what? If you don't like it, turn it off. That in theory don't even make sense. That's why I tell people, if you support the red and black, you okay with me. If you say, hey, listen, man, I ain't going to Mercedes-Benz no more, man. I'm spending the grip every home game. They tapping my pockets for the season tickets. They tapping my pockets for the PSLs. Ooh, great. I hate parking. I hate people. But I go support this team, man, and you know what? The stress is killing me. I'm gonna watch the games from the house. Oh, no, you ain't no real fan. Shut the fuck up. If a fan decides, man, you know what? Until this gets done, I'm fed up with this team. I got a couple partners now that they done clocked out, fam. And they diehard supporters of this team. Diehard. One of my partners had a what was that, a Caprice? Put Falcon shit all over it. Riding around the city. Hey, bro, I gotta clock out, man. Oh, nah, you ain't no fan. You ain't no fan. Some folks got the logo tatted on their body. You ain't no fan. Who the fuck are you to tell these people they ain't fans? I don't care if you complain about everything about this team. As a fan, that's part of the benefits package. That's part of the benefits package. That's included in there. This team playing like absolute ass. You have every right as a fan to call that out. But you got some people, man, that feel like they're the mayor of the fan base. You can't tell a fan how to fan, bruh. People dress up, go to the game. What's different from them and the person that shows up with the jersey with the logo on it? What's different, really? The appearance? Because guess what? When we score a touchdown, they have the same attitude. So yeah, people have a right to. You're 4-6 in year 3 with the team everybody had projected to win 10 plus games. You're 4-6. You're on the losing side of things. Damn, who don't have a right to complain at this point? Well, you know, Arthur Smith ain't paying y'all. Okay, and let me tell you how powerful the fans are, bruh. If the fans all came together in unison and just said, now they'll say this is an extreme, but this is a fact. Their extremes aren't even based in reality, but this is an extreme that's a fact. If the fans stop going to the games altogether, stop buying the product, stop buying the paraphernalia, where do you think this team gonna be? Do you think the front office ain't gonna look at that? They ain't gonna pay attention to that? Yeah, they are. Because it's a business at the end of the day. The money that we spend on tickets, money that we spend on paraphernalia, whether that be hoodies, whether it be jerseys, whether that be hats, whether that be license plates. And let's not talk about the mental and emotional aspect of what it takes to be a Falcon fan. That's a lot of strength, because after you lose, guess what you got to do? You got to defend this team until next Sunday. When people know you strong about this fandom, you gotta answer questions like you going up to the podium. You show up for work and clock in, bro. What happened to your team? You sitting there like Arthur Smith, twiddling your thumbs. Well, you know, man, listen, defense went to bed. You know, didn't really get quality quarterback play, and man, you know, coaches. You got to start explaining like you were on the sideline. We have to carry that. And then you have people say, well, you don't have to do that. That's part of the fandom, bruh. I ain't never ran into somebody and their team went to bed and you like, what happened? What happened to your team, dog? Man, I don't want to talk about it. And walk off on you. Bro, no. You gotta take being clowned. You gotta take the abuse. That's what being a fan is about, bruh. You look at a couple weeks ago, the Chargers were playing, I forget who they were playing, but they had this woman in the stands, literally just wearing her emotions on her sleeve. So much so she ended up on Pat McAfee, I think it was the next day or the day after. That's what fandom is. And they lost that game. But that's what fandom is, bruh. Some people need to take a break. Hey, it's okay. You don't come back when we start winning. We go on this run. I don't want to hear shit. Bruh, first off, who are you? That's what I be looking at dudes with that say that. Who are you? People got enough time vested in this fan base that if they leave for 2 weeks and come back and we start winning, ain't nobody gonna look at them with a side eye. Some people got decades invested in this shit. But they missed 2 weeks because this team's stressing them out. And Lord knows this team has stressed us out every single fucking game this year. And we win 2 games and they come back and all of a sudden they ain't a fan. Fuck you, man. I just don't see the rationale in that. That applies to bandwagon fans. You can't be a bandwagon fan if you've been on the wagon this whole time. Sometimes people need to get off the wagon, take a piss, stretch their legs. But if I know you was rocking with the logo before you took your break, we good. But you got some folks that act like they the goddamn gatekeepers of the fan base. Bro, didn't nobody vote you in? And honestly, don't nobody give a fuck what you think. And don't be a fan of one player talking this nonsense. I've said for years, fam, if a player plays good, we gonna call it. Player plays bad, we gonna call it. Some people act like all the shrapnel has been just directed at one person. We ain't talked about Desmond Ridder really in 2 weeks. The one time we did talk about him, it was he came in the game. We saw some good things out of him. But we've been talking about this defense missing tackles. Guys blowing coverage. Defense giving up 20 plus a game in these 3 losses. Don't nobody, and I repeat, nobody runs this fan base. Nobody. Don't let them tell you what you are and what you aren't. Because you disagree with what they say. You want Arthur Smith fired. You don't know what you talking about. You know what? Why don't y'all just stop watching the game? Fuck you. What if I don't? Then what? You gonna say I ain't a fan because I'm still watching the game? That's what fans do. That's what real fans do. Even when your team is playing like trash, you sit there, you take the shrapnel. You watch it and you take the shrapnel. We as fans can't change the outcome of what happens on the field because we're not playing. But as a fan, we are going to support this team. They got Desmond Ridder back on track to start next Sunday. Okay, let's ride. It ain't no, oh man, you know, they got Desmond Ridder. I ain't watching no more, man. I just, no, man. No, let's ride. Because I know if this kid wets the bed, I just know what the outcome is. This 6 to 7 games is literally going to put this kid on a trajectory. He's either going to be a number 1 quarterback or he is going to be a proverbial backup for the rest of his career. There is no in between. Well, you know, Mark, you don't know what you're talking about. I did say the guy needed to get benched. And I'm gonna stand on my square. Because at the end of the day, fam, it's about logo business. This is what being a fan is about. Win, lose, or draw, you're there for your team. But there are some players, or not some players, there are some fans that have to take a break. Trust me, I get that 100%. People act like, when fans clock out, they're going to join another team. Sometimes fans need a good reset. Fam, I needed this bye week almost as much as the players did. I'm not gonna lie. I needed this. Just a week where I can, hey man, I'm unplugging. After I talked to OG Monday, I unplugged, fam. I'm just like, hey, listen. I need a good reset. So now I feel a lot better. I feel re-energized. And I'll get to a lot of these videos that I missed during this week, because there's a plethora of them. Shout out to Uncle Steve. Shout out to Smitty. AFN. Birdcage. Birdgate. Man, I saw Tidy. I saw Tidy do a live. I think it was, what's today, Sunday? Last night, man, this thing went on 5 hours. Man, I gotta watch that in bite sizes. I can't eat that whole horse in one go. I'm gonna have to do that in bite-sized pieces, man. Todd says, sir, let's ride with dude that played in preseason. Have you thought about that? Which guy are you talking about? Because Desmond Ridder played one series in the preseason. So I don't know which guy you're talking about. He also says OG about to be a Saints fan. He's so tired. Hey, now that's treachery right there. Let me tell you where you lose your fan credit, and I think everybody will agree with this. If you jump ship, it's okay to take a break and come back. But in that break, you got caught out there supporting another team, and then you try to come back. Nah, dog, that's treason. Now that one I'll agree with you being cut off with. Partner of mine, man. I say this all the time. Partner of mine, this was like 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. It was the last year Drew Brees was with the Saints, and they lost. This man went on Facebook Live, bro, and denounced the Saints. Now, listen, y'all know how we get down with the Saints. Lions and hyenas. Hate them. Absolutely hate them during the football season. Bro, it got so bad, even I jumped in there and said, dog, don't do this. That's how much I knew the fandom means. Dog, don't do this, man. Don't do this. Man, Mark, I have to, man. I'm hurt. What he didn't know is I was recording that whole thing. I screen recorded. I was petty back then. You know, I've changed my ways. I'm a reformed petty person, but I screen recorded that shit. I'm like, I got to get this on the books. I don't care how upset I've been about this team, bro. That ain't never crossed my mind. Buddy, not only was he denouncing the Saints, but he started to rattle off a list of teams he was interested in jumping on. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm sounding like Boosie out here. Come on, man. Don't do this, man. I'm like, bro, if your fan base catches wind of this, ain't no coming back. Next year, season starts. You got the Saints logo as a profile picture. Now, again, that don't bother me. That's their fan base. But Buddy, had that been over here? Uh-uh. Uh-uh. You can't tiptoe back over here after you done roll with another team. But I will say, in his defense, I never saw him ride with one of those teams, but the video was bad enough. Video was damning enough. Right. I forgot how many people he had watching it, but even some of the Saints fans, they were hurt, but they like, dog, you taking this too far. I mean, hey, listen, I'm a fan till they put me in this dirt. And I told y'all a couple weeks ago, when I'm dead and gone, y'all still gonna hear me in the halls of your house, wherever games being played. Y'all gonna hear me. My fandom runs deep. I ain't never had nobody question my fandom. Ever. Now, I might disagree with other people in the fan base vehemently. But one thing I ain't gonna tell them is you ain't a fan, or how about you do this, or no, because one, I can't tell somebody else how to fan. I can't. If we go into the game and you want to drench your body with red and black paint, first of all, you driving, because this shit ain't getting in my car. It's first off, you driving, but that's about the extent of it. I'm not going to feel embarrassed sitting next to you. I'm not going to say you're crazy. You look stupid. None of that. Let's ride. And if we lose and you get in the car and want to lose your damn mind, man, you know what, man? I don't know why you talking like that, man. You know what? Why you blaming the team for losing? No, you got every single right to make your view known. And I think that's where a lot of I don't even want to call them bougie fans, but it just seems like they feel like they're a step above fans, to where they feel like they can talk to you any kind of fucking way. But I'd be like, hey, man, if y'all know me from my Atlanta Bird Gang days, y'all know I stand 10 toes. I will talk to anybody about this team. Anybody. Don't matter who you are. But I'm not going to sit there and tell you what you should and what you shouldn't do as a fan if you're upset about the fan base. Now, I will suggest some things like, hey, don't go to the games. If you feel that you're not getting what you paid for, or you want them to hear you, stop going to the games. Because that's what they hear. It's business to them more than the game. You know, watch it from your house. If you need a week or two to decompress, do you, fam? Fam, I'm telling you, my partner clocked out about 2 weeks ago. Then my other partner clocked out last week. I didn't sit there and say, man, you know what, y'all real fans, if we go on a run and they come back, I'm not going to say anything to them, because I already know their fandom is untouched. You know, a lot of us have been in the trench for decades, fam. We've been in the trenches for decades. So when you tell somebody there are 31 other teams to choose from, or stop watching, you're telling a person something that they psychologically have been programmed not to do because of their fandom. 31 other teams. What team am I going to go to? I done invested 41 years in this team. What team am I going to go to? That sounds absurd to an actual fan. Because it's like, we're not programmed to go from what I tell people this all the time. Football is the one sport where once you make that commitment, it's almost like a lifetime commitment. Basketball different. Basketball is a players' league. Even though my team has been the Spurs since I was a kid. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't watch the Lakers games. I'd be lying to you if I wasn't watching the 76ers games when Iverson was that guy. I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't watch the Atlanta Hawks a couple years ago when Trigger Trey was going off. Should have made the finals that year. I'd be lying to you if I said, hey, I wasn't rooting for the Hawks. Because I very much was. But my team has been the Spurs. But when it comes, and in basketball, it's low key okay to do that. Look at how many fans used to be Cavaliers fans, turn Miami Heat fans, and turn Lakers fans. Nobody bats an eye, bruh. Nobody. In football, that's considered treason. Notice how Patriots fans, when Tom Brady left, they were still Patriots fans. They come down south. And then look at what happened with Tampa. I kid you not. Before Tom Brady got there, I hadn't seen or met a Buccaneers fan in about 13 years. I'm going to be honest with you. Hadn't seen it. Then when Tom Brady comes there, all of a sudden, Buccaneers fans crawling out the sewers, bro. Coming out the swamps. I've been a Buccaneer fan since 97. Oh, really? I've been a Buccaneers fan since 2002. Where y'all been? I ain't seen a Buck logo on a Facebook page. Nothing. Where y'all been hiding? It ain't like that in Atlanta. And mind you, Tampa's won a Super Bowl. We ain't won shit. But you got Falcons fans everywhere, bruh. Falcons fans in London. What up, bruv? The boy is bad. Falcons fans in Bosnia? Man, we probably got Falcons fans in the Congo. Again, we're all in this for the same reason. We ain't won shit, so you can't say a fan ain't a fan. You can't say it. Our fan base is kind of unique because we had the biggest Super Bowl loss in Super Bowl history. I don't know how many epic meltdowns this team has had. And we still here. Bro, there's a lot of weak fan bases out here. This ain't one of them. You got to be built different to be part of this fan base. So again, man, don't let the bougie fans tell you what you are and what you aren't. Don't let them tell you that you're right or that you're dead wrong about your opinion. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. We all don't know everything when it comes to this team. We don't even know the situation with the quarterback situation, honestly. All we know is Arthur Smith is going to ride with Desmond Ridder. The way that I see it is if he's going to lose his job, he's going to lose his job the way he wants to do it. He's going to go out with this boy if things go for the worst. That's how I see it. Because he's already invested in this boy. Okay, let's ride. Now, do I wish Desmond Ridder the best? Of course. He's attached to my team. If Dez goes out here and just all of a sudden starts playing out his mind, I'm not going to come on here and be like, man, you know what, man? He only doing good because the wide receiver. No, if he plays good, I'm going to say the boy playing out of his mind. But ain't no, that's my quarterback coming out of my mouth. None of that. Or y'all was dead wrong. We told y'all this a process. Here's the thing about the process argument. If we go on a run, that kind of mutes your argument. This is a process. Okay, it took a bye week and another quarterback change for us to go. What was so different? And again, this is a 3-year process that we were told. Armani says, yep, I was an Alabama fan before Nick Saban in the dark years and will be an Alabama fan when Coach Saban is gone. Yeah. My thing is, I'm not about to defend somebody who's been mediocre, because I know that whenever they leave, I'm still going to be here. That's what makes fans so important to the game. You can switch head coaches, offensive, defensive coordinators. You can flip this whole roster. Fans still gonna be here. It's hard to flip a loyal fan. You can flip everything else. Front office, GM. We still gonna be here. That's why a fan has a voice. Because y'all can remove everything off the field. And the only thing that's there is the logo. And that's what we look at. That's what we look at over here. It's about logo business. I could give 2 fucks, honestly, who's here and who ain't. Whoever is here, I'm riding for. When you leave here, I tell people this all the time. When you leave here, I low-key kind of forget you. I was on talking to Smitty, and I said Richard Smith, and I meant Dean Pease. Bruh, Dean Pease literally got mentally erased out of my Rolodex. If you was trash and you ain't playing for us no more, bruh, I forget you. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I forget you. If you came here and stole paychecks and didn't do nothing for this team, I forget you. I don't forget that logo though. And I see a lot of people talking about it's about logo business. Don't know where they got that from though. Don't know where they got that from though. What's going on, King Richie? Don't know where they got that saying from. But to come on here and try to question other people's fandom. I'm like, bro, y'all using verbiage from the person y'all criticizing. But again, even to those fans who have a higher knowledge, I guess, y'all still fans in my opinion too. It's just you can't tell a fan how to fan. That's like the number 1 rule in fandom. You can't tell another person how to be a fan. unless they switch sides. Now that's no holds barred at that point. If they switch sides, then yeah. And you have every right to call them out when they switch sides. But if they switch sides, you can't tell them, hey, you need to fan this way. Y'all keep criticizing this. Y'all can't criticize this, but we can criticize you as a fan. Like, really? So that's been the ballad of the Atlanta Falcons fan base. I know people that have been fans of this team longer than me, and that's quite impressive. They can tell me about the old days. When I was in the 4th and 5th grade and shit. And they was riders then. Much older than me, but riders then. And since I talked about the Saints fan base, I know people that are Saints fans. They were Saints fans back when they were putting trash bags over their head, bro. It wasn't always the Drew Brees era in New Orleans. That team was perpetual trash up until that point. And I know guys who was rocking before then. So when they pop their shit about their team, I just sit there and listen to them. Ain't even got an argument because I know they fandom's intact, bro. I know it's intact. And these are mortal football enemies I'm talking about here. Hold on. My dog has got to go outside, so I gotta hop out here. I've been rapping to y'all for about a hour 20, but I just want to make, because when I got back on and I saw the back and forth, you know, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Twitter, you know, we eating each other. And I'm like, bro, we're a mediocre team. Kenny says, what's going on, Kenny? Says, 30-year Falcons fan, name on back, change personnel, can't change, but like Bad Boy says, it ain't going nowhere. Yeah. We don't stop, man. We don't stop. You know, when the Falcons lose and they say, take that. We take it. And keep pushing, because I'm sure, and can't nobody tell me otherwise, I'm sure we're going to reach that golden era like Bad Boy did. We're going to have this period where we dropping Ready to Die, Harlem World. When we start dropping all that stuff, I feel like we're going to run into that era. Because people that are old enough now, you know what Diddy got going on right now. Hey, listen, whatever. But people that were old enough to remember when Diddy had shit on lock in the 90s, had motherfuckers in the streets with shiny pants on. Bad Boy had the game on lock. And I feel like eventually we're going to get to that era. We're set up nicely to where we have a window of bringing good personnel in here. If we wanted to, we can actually go after a quarterback, a veteran quarterback next year. If we wanted to, we got the money. I'm not overpaying none of these motherfuckers though, because if you look across the landscape, that Deshaun Watson contract right now, oh boy, that deal ain't looking so good, because their window was literally this year. That first year he sat out pretty much. $230 guaranteed. They gave up all that stuff. This man out with a shoulder injury for the rest of the season. Mind you, he was in and out of games before that happened. I'm looking at that now and I'm like, whew. Glad Terry ain't bite on that one. Now, the Joe Burrow situation, I have no idea. Again, but you see it with teams, this year. Look at us. I firmly believe we knew what was going on with Bijan before we suited him. Teams are now kind of hiding shit. You look at Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields is legitimate. If I'm Justin, I ain't playing another snap for the Chicago Bears. Fuck y'all. You look at Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was on pace to have his best season in his career. It was actually tracking an MVP season, to be honest. 18 tutties against 5 picks, and the man was sitting second in passing yards behind Tua. Man was on track to be considered an MVP. Bang, goes down. Derek Carr literally gets his head rattled in. He out. Jameis, bro, let me tell you, I'm so petty about the Saints. When Jameis Winston came in, I'm like, Jameis good for one. He good for one. And I be damned, Jameis threw that pick almost on time. So I think the quarterback market is going to be very, very sensitive in the offseason. Very sensitive. But I think Cleveland, they will make a 30 for 30 about this. It's already bad enough you paid the man $230 million guaranteed and you gave up all that draft capital. But then you did it in the AFC. There wasn't a guarantee Cleveland was going to make it to the damn Super Bowl anyway. But after this year, bro, y'all going to start getting taxed. Now, I will give it up for Cleveland. Their defense, I think their defense is sitting at 2 or 3. I think Baltimore's got the number 1 defense in the league. And they just lost Mark Andrews. Borderline, let me see what's going on with Lamar Jackson. Now, I mentioned these teams for the simple fact that they're paying these guys top numbers. They're paying them top numbers. Armani says, I'm ready for more of your movie reviews too. Hey man, listen. I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna start doing that on the weekends. I did Friday night fuckery twice, and then found out that Tidy does his Waffle House thing on Friday. So I kind of said, okay, let me go ahead and bow out, and let him get his shine on. And then I was gonna come on last night, but honestly, I just dozed off. I'm not gonna front. This wasn't really supposed to be all about the Falcons. I was gonna talk about other things, but when I hopped on, or when I plugged back into the Atlanta community, I saw this absolute motherfuckers going to war. And we should be in peacetime right now. It's the bye. It's the bye, man. So some people didn't take their buy seriously. I took mine seriously. Some folks were still going to war all week. But yeah, I probably next Saturday, man, we'll hop on here. We'll talk a little football, and then we'll talk a lot of other stuff. Because there is a lot of interesting stuff that's going on in the world that we can kind of chop it up with and make fun of and just have a good time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll be back on that next Saturday. What's going on, Dom? What's happening, fam? All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because it is 11:54. I got to get my fantasy roster straight. I know y'all probably do if y'all playing fantasy, and I need this dub this week. I need it. Last week I lost by a fucking point. A point, bruh. A point. A point. I would rather get blown out. And let me tell you how damn devastating that loss was. It would have put me in first place. I was on a 5-game winning streak, bro. But the thing is, I kind of expected to lose because 4 of my starters were out on bye. And I still should have won. Keenan Allen gave me a 40 piece. So I'm like, and I lost by a point. So I got to get right. I got my roster pretty much straight now. And it's projected me to beat the brakes off this guy, to be honest. But hey, man, listen, I don't take projection serious. I don't. Right now, it's got me at 130. It's got him at 104. That's the projection. But if y'all play fantasy, man, y'all know good as much as I do. You can be projected to make that, and then your final score be 85 points. Guys didn't show up to the party. Guys got injured. And again, I need this dub. So I'm going to go ahead and hop out of here, man. We will reconvene probably sometime this week because they'll start revving up Falcons talk. I'm pretty sure, they'll have a press conference with Desmond Ridder. I kind of want to see where his mind is. I don't really want to see where Arthur Smith's mind is because it's the same shit. So I'll mainly be focusing on the players and where their mind frame is, and then we'll see what goes on in New Orleans, man. Because again, that's a rivalry game. We gotta have that. I don't take losing to the Saints lightly, ever. So with that being said and done, fam, I'm up out of here, man. Y'all have yourselves a great Sunday, and we will chop it up later. Peace.